Uh,
The
you mean the
only,
question?
yeah, the only.
Yeah, I probably should have released that
I
way
probably should
earlier,
release
but
that. Yeah,
totally forgot about it.
I big fan of the only question we have though.
Oh, I love it. I got one that DM'd me, but it's not a serious question either.
We might want to just address those. Really knock them out of the way.
I think we should. All right, go ahead and do the opener.
I've been recording for the last 30 seconds.
Oh well, shit. Hello, everyone. Um,
It started
um,
with you going, which, to my respect, really good opener, honestly.
so not sure what everyone's heard, but welcome to a new episode of Into the New with your incredibly organized host. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
by the way, Silent takes the question of the week on our poll. Definitely, we need to put those out a little earlier. Sorry for that. But Todd, you want to go ahead and address, since you're the financier of New School Originals, I feel like it's
Absolutely.
only fair. Um, Silent asked us on Twitter the very serious question. Very serious. It's going to take a lot of effort and dedication to get through this.
Of course. And I would like to mention my history of being the liaison between New School Originals and, let's say, vendors to procure services and merchandise. So I think I have a good experience here. So Silent, um, whose name is the ATF is a scam on
I
Twitter,
agree with, by the way. Just throwing that out there. I'm with you, bro.
asked, would NSO have expendable resources to aid me in my quest to discover and give service to all of my local MILFs?
Why do I feel
Um,
like this is like a really, 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 really bad porn game? like
that
the quest.
I it's actually on sale on Steam. I think it's Silence Misadventures. And then I would like to say, because people are gonna be like, "You guys are fools for answering this question." Someone underneath it, not gonna name names, lyric. This
Marquise.
needs capital NEEDS to be answered. Um, so yeah, no, I feel not only did a community member come out and say this is a concern we need addressed, but then it was followed up with, "Hey, I agree with that guy." Um, Now, I think we're going to need to follow up on this one because give service to local MILFs. That can mean a lot.
Yeah.
He might want
Yeah.
to babysit. Yeah, he just left. I heard you laughing. He's- he
I
just
can't with you. Um, I mean, there's lots of good plumber jobs in his area.
mm,
Um,
handyman.
yeah, handymen come real important. Pool guys are at an all-time high.
You don't hear of that career anymore. Like
No,
I've
you really
never.
don't. I feel
I
like
Yeah.
the the laundromat services have really outweighed that one. Lots of things are getting stuck in laundromats. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Um, so Silent, I hate you for this, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're
Just
we're
let go
at
of the
this is
record.
going in.
Yeah.
This is not being redacted.
Oh man, how many puns are we gonna throw into this?
Yeah.
This old bag. Now, all right, I'm done. I cannot. I feel like this is a good segue into our topic today.
Yeah. Just
Um,
life and questions.
yeah, life and questions. Oh, I hate you. Um, so obviously this is going to be an alternative start. I did get another question.
Mm,
Um, it's definitely not as serious. It does not require as much mental fortitude to get through.
absolutely.
But somebody asked me the question that they wanted to hear our take on is what esport do we think has the longer longevity, Valorant or CS:GO? I thought it was a good question.
Good question. Yeah.
Definitely doesn't live. I should have started with this because I think the previous one just smashed it out of the park.
Set bar
um
too high. Too
Set
high.
bar way too high. But I don't know. I have an interesting take on this one. People aren't going to like my answer, but I think it's fine. I think everything depends on the release of CS2. I think if CS2 is a nightmare at release, I think Valorant is going to have longer longevity because of how much money is being pumped into Valorant. And I think kind of like what we saw with Fortnite, like it's still not dead because like they just put so much money into Fortnite. I think the same thing's kind of happening. League is
Mm-hmm.
going to constantly fund Valorant because Riot's not folding anytime soon. Um, So I think Valorant, depending on how CS2 releases, which I like for all, I think CS2 is going to kill it. Like I just don't see a world in which CS2 just absolutely crushes itself and dies out, and we go back to CS:GO. Like I don't see that happening, but I think if the release is botched, I think Valorant will overtake it, just because I think everyone in the CS world is kind of pinning the success of CS on CS2.
I think that is a fantastic, say, train of thought because as much as Valorant appeals, sorry, to say a more general audience,
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
that is, I'll just say for lack of a better word, skill gaps a little. I don't even want to say lower, but just different, a little bit more generalized.
I think we've
Um,
said it, like Valorant is a game for bad gamers.
yes,
If that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
offend anyone.
and I have to agree. I mean, like we talked about it last episode, like Jedi Survivor, and I'm just gonna pull in like just a quick like anecdotal evidence here. And me and Nova were talking about how well this should compete for Game of the Year, no problem, right? Well,
Yeah.
its release was so ridiculously botched that it has cut all of its journey down to let's say a fraction of what it should have been. And I think the same way
Okay.
can be said for CS. Is that there is so much being put into CS right now in terms of like we're looking at a new engine, we're looking at different servers, we're looking at just a huge beta, an overhaul of everything. I mean, like they really worked on it. So I fathomably
Wow.
have to. Oh,
Can
go
I
ahead.
add some context to what you just said?
Yeah.
So I just looked it up on Steam, Jedi Survivor, and I know Steam's not the only place you go to get game reviews, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's kind of the benchmark.
It's a good one.
As of right now of recording, so this could change if you go fact check me, but it's 5.8 at 8:13. So it is negative to mixed on Steam on
Rough.
reviews, and it says 47% of the users found the game positive.
Can you do me a favor, actually? Can
Yeah,
you look at Fallen Order real quick?
yeah.
Just as I think
Let me
that's a
go.
good benchmark. While you do that.
Fallen Order is still $40, and it's very positive.
Yep.
88% of the users in the last 30 days say this game is positive, and that
And
is 37,000 user reviews.
everyone that's a fan of Survivor right now is saying that Survivor is a better game in terms of like quality of life changes. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
both are still loved, and those that are able to play Survivor, are able to relay this message. But that's how bad the launch was.
Very
Is that
Cyberpunk 77.
yeah, yeah, and so everything's riding on that. Everything's riding on the launch. Now, I imagine the launch is going to be a slow, methodical launch.
Yeah.
Like I do not see Valve fucking around for a decade and then just releasing an incomplete project.
The beta has some bugs, has some severe bugs.
Sure.
Not that any of us have been blessed enough to get it. I've just put in probably close to 100 hours of watching streams, listening to podcasts of people who have played it. The beta's got some bugs for sure, but I think right now it's already a better game than CS:GO. Just like fundamentally, mechanically speaking, there's less abusable bugs. The
Mm,
skill gap is significant, but I feel like it eases you into being okay quicker, if that makes any sense. I know
okay.
me and you were talking yesterday, like it coming from competitive players, like with a passive competitive play. Me and you have a hard time enjoying competitive first person shooters if we're not winning.
Absolutely.
And for those of you that don't understand, get out of ranked. Um,
You're
but
hurting us. You're the fifth.
you're the problem. But it's I feel like CS:GO is just brutal in its skill gaps between levels. If you push into silver and you get into gold, you hate your life again. And then when you push into MG, you hate your life again. And then you'll get the LE lobby and the GE lobby, and you're like, oh my god, I suck. I perpetually suck at this game. like, I feel like there's never a ceiling at which you're like in Siege, like you get diamonds, you get whatever the fuck they've added now. Gold, Master, Emerald. Like I don't care. Like you feel good. You're like, all right, I have achieved a rank I am proud of, and I can say I'm good at this game. I don't feel like CS:GO ever had that. Um, because it always felt like to me like there's always someone better than you. Well, now go to Face It. Well, now get Face It level 10. Well, now go to ESCA and play in leagues, and now play in Premier and Advanced, and good luck. CS:GO 2, from what I've seen, from what I've like the little I've played at like my local kind of like I guess it's kind of like a gaming hub. They had a copy of it, and I could play it on a computer there. Like it feels really new user friendly. The mechanics aren't as brutal. The recoil sprays are a little easier. So I'm hoping that that gets more of that casual base back, because I feel like CS has a massive competitive like nature to it, but I don't see a lot of like casual content creators playing CS:GO personally.
Not anymore. I think at one point or another, and this may have been like a little bias of like me watching Fitz and Swagger Souls and so was it Soviets? What was it, Soviet Womble?
I don't know. I don't know that
It
one.
it was a huge, say, casual environment for a long time.
Okay.
But I feel like after just, I don't want to say not releasing anything, because they have released released, but still the bones are the bones, right? Like the infrastructure is there, and unless you go to say like Gmod, there's not really much you can play with per se in CS to keep a community that doesn't want to memorize spray patterns and doesn't want to memorize like lineups and executions and things of that sort. It's very hard to retain that very casual. Like I show up and like let's say out of the 4 games we play in a row, I get 1 or 2 ones where it's just all mechanical. Like thankfully, like I am able to still land shots. But there's ones that it's like, okay, cool, these guys are Mirage players. I'm getting railed. There's no way I can compete with them outside without or with this Molly hitting hitting box, and like there's just no way for me to be able to counter this without googling like a walkthrough real quick.
Yeah. No, I feel that. And then it's also like when you're losing in a game like CS, it's just so frustrating.
Till
It's
inevitable.
just, yeah, it's don't start that conversation. Um, Still sore spot on that from this weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, lost 2 ranks and Face It. Woohoo, crushed it. Um, but no, I feel like it's competitive gaming right now is in a really great spot. Casual gaming I worry about, and that's where I think Valorant does do really good. It's really easy to pick up a Valorant game and play it because it's shorter games, not as much downtime. You don't have to learn utility at all. You just fucking open your map and click, 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 and it's done. Um, and I think that's where like most of the casual gamers went. Like all of our friends that were casual gamers, like they don't play CS:GO, they don't play Siege, they play Valorant or Fortnite, no build.
Sure.
And I think that's really good. Like I'm not one of these like ranked only game mode people. I mean, I am for me, but like I can respect you if you're just like, no, I don't play for super long. I want to get on. I want to have fun. I want to get off. Like that's where I feel like Valorant's niche is going to be so powerful. Like with those, 80% of the video game industry is not competitive players, and I think we have to keep that in like context where it's like that's where I think Valorant will outlive a CS:GO. Maybe not as far as like their majors won't have the viewership, and their esports may not have the viewership, but that's not where they make their money. They make their money in skin sales. What was it? CS:GO makes $2 billion a year on
Jesus.
case openings or something like that. I don't think I'm that far off. I'll Google it when we're here in a second when you're kind of getting on the paintball train if we want to start that tonight. But and that's where I think Valorant, to answer the long way of answering your question, I think that's where Valorant has a chance at outliving CS:GO if CS2's launch is good.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's there's variables that play into it, but I think at the end of the day, CS will reign. But absolutely, it's gonna be one of those you can't just say that and then allow it to become law.
Holy cow!
That's a number. I don't know it yet, but I'm waiting.
On the low end, okay. Dextero, which is pretty reputable
I'm with it.
esports marketing, estimates on the low end, Valve makes 54 million a month on CS:GO cases.
Yeah, yeah. And CS is kind of an old game in perspective.
Hold on. Valve earned at one point in 2023 from May to January. It earned 1.7 million and a couple other random numbers through there, but you get the point. Closer to 1.8 million per day. Per day, with an estimate of $651 million per year in 2022.
Woof. That's a market. That's a market. It's stronger than the economy.
500 country can say that.
Yeah, we were both on the same track, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God, Valve needs to start making rockets that explode.
Yeah. So here we'll wrap up that. There's a couple questions I keep consistently getting. I don't think we should spend long on them at all. But
okay, hit me with them.
Say clothing vendors. I'm actually still getting questions about NSO merch. NSO content. What to be expected. I get questions on
phenomenal questions that we don't know.
Yeah, as I'll say, very open-ended ones. And then I get actually asked a lot about the paintball content and potentially tying it in with NSO. And so, how do you want to knock that one on? Do you want to address the Spotify, say YouTube one real quick, or?
Yeah, I can knock that one out.
Sure.
I kind of put out the post asking. I looked into Spotify podcast because one of my IRL buddies asked me, like, I'm not listening to a YouTube video. Sorry, I'd listen to it if on Spotify because on my way to work it's easier with low service in my area. It's harder to stream a YouTube video than it is a podcast on Spotify. So we're looking at adding it on Spotify. We're not really sure how to do it, I guess is the best way to. We're going to dive into that probably the next few days. So this may actually end up on Spotify, guys. But the quick answer to that is we're looking. We're not turning it down. We just don't know what's the front loading amount of work that you have to do to get it up. Is there an approval process? Like we just don't really know right now. We're very open to doing it, and we're looking into doing it. I guess that's the best way to answer it. We just don't know when it's going to be available on Spotify. But I think short answer is we want to get this out to as many people as possible. And if that means more than one platform, then we'll happily do it within a reasonable, timely manner.
Well put. I think I would really like to send you like the spare webcam that I have and do, say, just the video portion up on YouTube. Audio only goes to Spotify and just kind of.
I'm good with that.
There.
Yeah, just bring it in July when you come over.
Oh, there we go. And just kind of test that out.
Shipping rates.
Yeah, I don't want it to get lost. I'm so sick of that. Yeah. I'll knock out the clothing vendor question real quick.
Yeah, because you're gonna run that one anyways.
So I have a local vendor here that does, when I say embroidery, everyone thinks like it's just a small design. I mean, I've had a embroider, like the whole chest is done on a hoodie. The whole chest, and it's about 8 different colors and a very, very sophisticated design by this local vendor. Then I know the owner. I've worked out with the guy. He cuts my hair. I mean, like, really nice guy. It's the brand Shall Prosper. And so
it got stuck in his washing machine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. It's a buy in bulk, I think is but I use say his merchandise for what I wear in paintball, and it's going to go on I think it's going to go to a made to order kind of idea for the first portion, because it happened way too quickly where people were wanting to order, and then as soon as I'm like, all right, here's the exact thing you asked for. Oh, next paycheck. It's very like echo chamber.
Don't you still have tie-dye shirts?
Oh yeah, and we might just give those away. So yeah, if you're a size small or medium, comment. But yeah, so we're looking at doing embroidered. The thing is, warmer weather is coming up, so I'm trying to figure out whether or not to do, is hoodies worth doing, maybe light beanies, and so just kind of playing around. But at the end of the day, yes, we will be doing merch again. I'm debating whether or not doing just into the new designs, plain NSO designs, and so we'll be kind of reaching out to people that we can get second opinions on about creating a line.
Yeah, well put. What's the last one about paintball?
Oh yes. So I will be essentially what my plan is to get as many, I'll say, used and abused GoPros as I possibly can without breaking the bank. And I already run a open play. When I say open play, it means any paintball player, whether or not they need a rent gear or they own it, can go to their local park and play. And I have been just kind of corralling the troops, so to speak, players that go by themselves and are looking for groups to play with. So I host a particularly, let's say, growing one in the Midwest, where we try to organize like, hey, I know you usually play at this park. We have a group of 12 guys. Let's go over to this one instead. And so I'm trying to do that with the NSO guys when we visit Sinister in July, and it's going to be, I think I'll have probably 3 or 4 of them, but essentially the idea is like just playing with different angles, showing, how enjoyable it is, like whether you're up front, you're back, there's actually a lot of talking during matches. It's crucial communication. And so that's going to be it's going to be a separate YouTube channel. And I believe I already have it open as It's the Podfather, because the Podfather is already taken. Sad days for that. Yeah. And then my competitive highlight reels will be going there. But yeah, a lot of people are curious about like the correlations between like shooting paint and, competing in first person shooters.
Yeah. It's something we both enjoy. You definitely are more into the, I guess, semi-pro side of it than I am. I used to try to play competitive back when I was in high school and like early college. I played for Team Boxer. But we were more of a like hyperball tac sim like, group. I played a lot of woods ball, a lot of tac like simulated stuff. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy speedball. I played in 2 or 3 tournaments. I played in one shirtless, which was a really terrible idea.
Bad idea.
I have a very bloody picture of my torso on my Instagram. We actually won the tournament. I only got hit 31 times.
That's a good count. That's a good count for a win.
Yeah, ask me how I know. I'll put it this way. I'm a, for those of you that play paintball, you'll know, like I was what am I, 6'2", somewhere in that range, 6'2", 6'3", depending on what I'm anywhere between 5'11" and 6'8", depending on what convenience store I'm leaving. But no, I'm about 6'2". At the time, I was wrestling in college, so I was about 225 walk around weight, 6'2", 225, playing Snake. Somewhat of an easy target to hit as you're crossing the initial opening engagement. So yeah, it was a great tournament to play shirtless in. Absolutely punishing, but I love paintball. It was just a super fun, competitive, athletic, mental stimulating event that it's just to me it was just so much fun. Like it was just a great way to spend a weekend with a bunch of guys I just enjoyed hanging out with.
Yeah, it's exhilarating, but at the same time, it's very humbling. It's one of those things where no matter how big and bad, like I feel, all the types that you just listed in terms of play, and we'll probably go in this in like a separate episode, like hyperball, woods ball.
Yeah,
I'd
love to do that next week because there's a lot of new styles of paintball like I have no idea about because like I stopped playing in like 2016.
Yeah, and a lot of retro ones have been, modernized and
yeah, like what's the 1v1 tournaments with like
God,
the point
like gauntlets
systems?
and
Like that. That wasn't that looked so much fun.
I can't stand them.
What?
Well, that's the thing. You're excited for all the ones I hate.
On YouTube. I'm like, it just looked fun on YouTube. So I've never played it, so I don't know how fun or how bad it actually is.
Oh, they're really enjoyable events, and I have no doubt in my mind you would like them. You're just naming every type that I am not suited for. You named woods ball, and my God, I would rather file my taxes in the middle of nowhere
do y'all
than be in the
do y'all
woods
even
ball.
have woods up in bumfuck cornfields wherever you're from?
We do, but we have to travel.
No, so you've been down to see me.
Yes.
Woods here are a different thing.
Absolutely, they are.
So it's not like you're out in the middle of the forest playing. Like woods ball for us is like 3 to 4 castles on the map, a bunch of bunkers, and you're just in the woods. It's just I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's just
Yeah,
a
that's more
fast-paced
scenario like.
game. Yeah, so that's Woods Ball. Like that's what I'm referring to as Woods Ball. I'm
Honestly,
not.
we need another paintball video game that's not VR and soon because that's what I've been itching for, like a Greg Hastings 3 or something, something of that sort.
Okay, I'd be down to try it. It'd
I mean, it's
probably
going to
get
be an indie
refunded on
developer.
Steam,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Under the 2 hours time limit.
it's an hour and 58. Refund. Don't do that, by the way, guys. That's abusing Steam's policy and TOS or whatever. Whatever.
So we're at 25 minutes. We'll bang out the last question. That was the future of NSO's content. I know we kind of hit that with paintball, and the long and short of it is really still just figuring it out. We are of course streaming. We're doing the podcast. This is the most consistent that you're gonna see, but when it comes to clips and editing, it's more likely going to be me. It's more likely going to be me purchasing a laptop and just editing footage while I'm at work. It's not a lack of footage. It's putting it together in an enjoyable format. And I don't have, I'm a one-man show and everyone's busy.
Yeah. And going back to the original question, we don't have an endless supply of money that we can throw at subpar content editors that think they should get paid top industry dollar.
Yeah, that was. Now, of course, we are a firm believer in those that earn the dollar absolutely deserve it, and we're not shy on like tipping on good graphic designers and things like that. But right now, it's kind of a hellscape. If you tweet "video editor needed," pray to whatever god that'll listen to your cries, because you'll get about 80 bot reviews. Half of them will be this URL that just popped up and it's stolen footage, stolen videos.
Oh, it's all. Actually, we should look at doing an AI highlight video. It might not be a terrible idea. You don't have to pay ChatGPT.
We might get flamed for it, but
I don't care. Hey, content, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And in episode 8 of the podcast, we want to address all the people who got upset with us for using AI.
I am pro AI art. Don't care if it's stolen. Tell me below in the comments if you agree.
Like a LinkedIn platformer.
If you really want to up my impressions, guys, my @ on Twitter, where I will strongly stand by this, is hold on, I'll pull it up right now and tell you.
I usually link it, actually.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and link it. It's NSO_cash. Send me all your hate.
Send me all your hate mail. You be as vulgar as you like. We're not reporting accounts. So yeah, really, that's the long and short of it. We're still producing. We're on Twitch. Flick is on Kick. I may venture a little bit with Kick here and there, but at the end of the day, it boils out to we have all the produce in the world and none of the time to cook it, and we can go to different analogies like that. We've got a lot of footage, we did this change because we all like each other, believe it or not. We all like to hang out with each other, so to speak, and play with each other and, have these funny moments, but, it's turned into, no joke, double-digit terabytes of footage that I just stare at and go, well, that's a month old. Can we still use it? And it's that laundry, that pile in the corner of your room. You're like, I might get to that at the end of the weekend. I don't know. And it just evolved.
Yeah, no, I think that's well put. I know we wanted to keep this episode a little short. This is definitely the most informal episode that we've done. Let us know if you prefer this or if you prefer me sharing my screen with our agenda that we also don't stick to. But yeah, so that kind of wraps it up for today. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. I know we do. We love recording these weekly. So yeah, all jokes aside, please continue to give us feedback and support, comments, ways we can improve. We do this for our enjoyment and for y'all's. So any feedback is good feedback as long as your heart's in the right place. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. You enable a habit that we really enjoy doing. So that wraps it up, and see y'all next week.